Welcome to World War II Chronicles, a weekly tribute to America's fighting men and women in commemoration of the Second World War. These programs are narrated by Ed Herlihy and are based on the news broadcasts of the war period from the recorded sound collection of the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
In North Africa, any plans the Axis may have had for a precipitous and headlong advance seem to have been adequately taken care of by the Allied Air Force and artillery. Latest reports from the front say that the German tank columns have fallen back from part of their newly won positions. Evidently, the major battle for the Nile is still to come.
Ever since he had stopped Rommel's advance in Egypt in early September 1942, General Bernard Montgomery had been preparing for the knockout blow. By mid-October, he had amassed an enormous superiority in troops and tanks.
Lieutenant General Montgomery announces that the British Eighth Army is preparing for the next round in the battle for Egypt.
Then, in the black hours before dawn, Montgomery gave the order to advance. Guns were first to blaze into action.
The next round began on October 23rd with a 4-hour artillery barrage. 70,000 Allied troops and 600 tanks then surged toward the Axis lines.
In North Africa, the Allies have beaten Nazi Marshal Rommel to the punch and have launched a full-scale offensive by land, sea, and air, a struggle that may develop into the decisive fight for control of the Mediterranean and of all Africa.
That advanced elements of the Allied forces have penetrated the main Axis positions at some points in the El Alamein line in Egypt.
Montgomery's superiority in numbers blunted Axis attempts at counterattacks and turned the battle into a rout. By November 5th, the Afrika Korps was in full retreat.
It's all over but the shouting on this side of Libya. In the battle that knocked him out of Egypt, Rommel is believed to have lost at least 3/5 of his troops. The Axis armies crumbled as they fled.
The British Eighth Army is pounding its way on to one of the greatest victories of this war.
Prime Minister Churchill asked that the church bells of Britain be allowed to toll for the first time since Dunkirk.
2 Sundays ago, all the bells rang to celebrate the victory of our desert army at Alamein. Here was a martial episode in British history which deserved special recognition.
I'm Ed Herlihy. Join me next time for World War II Chronicles.
World War II Chronicles was produced by the American Veterans Center and Radio America in cooperation with the National Archives. To listen to more episodes, subscribe on iTunes or visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org. We need your help to keep the legacy of our World War II generation alive. Visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to make a donation to support World War II Chronicles and the ongoing work of the American Veterans Center.